welcome back
Yes,
to You Gore.
a whole new world.
A whole new world.
You better not edit that out.
Oh my god. Started that off really well.
Did you miss us, guys? I know some of you do, because sometimes I get messages when we miss a week and I get a, were you supposed to have an episode out today? And I'm like, yeah.
See, I'm always like, nah, no one's going to notice.
No, I absolutely get messages about it. And then when I say we were, but life, and then I just get back. Now, every time I say that to someone, I just get back Jades of Our Lives. Yes.
Yay.
And I cracked up before. Yeah, I was going to say you literally sent it to me before. And I was just like, yeah.
Yep.
But I just feel like that I just don't even need to explain things anymore. Like I say things and people are like, what the fuck, Jades of Our Lives?
Yeah, like it's just normal for you.
Yeah. How are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Shades of Our Lives.
But I guess it's in theme with You Gore.
Very true. Today is one I have mentioned many times before, and you are going to know just how excited I am to do this because the amount of times I've spoken about it. But I do believe that today is the 4th of August.
Yes.
It is 4th of August in 2026. So I am going to take us back today exactly 134 years today.
Wow.
To the 4th of August, 1892. In Fall River, Massachusetts, 33-year-old Lizzie Borden screamed for her family's live-in help Maggie. Come quick, she yelled. Father's dead.
Oh, I was waiting for this one. You've been saying for so long. She's one of your like Lizzes.
Yeah, I've wanted to do this case for so long, but I wanted to really give it the credit it deserves because there's the story and then there's the theories, and
yeah,
there's so many theories and there's so many stories around it, and it's just a case that's always stuck with me. And then we've got the haunted element by the fact that the house is now a haunted bed and breakfast that you can stay in, and like
that's amazing.
I like when we get rich and the stars align and we actually go to Salem while we're in Massachusetts, we are going to the Lizzie Borden house.
If you actually get on a plane, Jade.
Yes. Sedate me. I don't care. Just open my mouth and throw as many Valium in as will fit, and I will just drool and sleep the whole time.
Salem would be so worth it, believe me.
My God.
What a beautiful
Absolutely.
place.
And like there's so much you can do there as well, because you got like Massachusetts, you got Salem, you got Boston. You gotta go to Boston.
Just so you can hear people talk.
I'm just gonna walk across the road and be like, I'm walking here. Like I just gotta do it so badly. And then we have to go to Lizzie Borden house because I think I would cry. Like, because I'm fucked in the head.
See, I don't know the whole story because I've never, from the get-go when we started this, I haven't wanted to look into it because I knew she was one of your Elizabeths that you wanted to do. So I partially obviously know what happened, but haven't looked too far into the theories and things.
1,000 more details to it.
Mm.
So, after Lizzie screamed for help, the family's maid would run to her side and discover a tragedy that would change the trajectory of both of their lives. It would create a home that's now considered one of the most haunted places in America, and it would even inspire a nursery rhyme that Victorian children skipped rope to.
Wait, really?
Yep. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks, and when she saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41. Andrew Borden now is dead. Lizzie hit him on the head. Up in heaven he will sing, on the gallows she will swing.
What?
That is what they would sing, and they would afterwards they would then skip rope and try and get to 41 without stuffing up.
How is that what you teach children? Right?
That's the Victorian era of it all, the 1800s of it all. So
that's like a good example of what you were explaining that you want to do an episode on, nursery rhymes and their origins.
That's it, because a lot of them are really, really dark. Like I think Ring Around the Roses was about the Black Plague or something, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, something like that. So they've all got real...
like dark undertones.
Yeah, yep. So that was actually what I was going to do today's case on, was the nursery rhymes. And then when I was listening to another Lizzie Borden episode, I realized the connection with the dates, and I was like, no, we're recording on the 4th. I have to do that date.
Oh, it's perfect.
So While the nursery rhyme was catchy, the gloomy jump rope chant was full of errors, and today I'll tell you the facts, as well as I can in a 134-year-old case full of rumours, innuendo, and dueling theories. And of course, I'll add a sprinkle of my own opinion in there as well.
I mean, we can't have a Boo You Gore episode without Jade's opinion.
Exactly. So, Andrew Jackson Borden was born in 1822. I'm going to start with there is Bordens, Bowens, Bardens. So I'm absolutely going to mess names up. If I do, just deal with it. It's fine.
Hopefully I don't get lost.
So Andrew Jackson Borden was born in 1822 to a modest family. While not desolate, they definitely did not have money, and Andrew was always determined to make sure he did not face the same fate for his own family. He worked incredibly hard and had many careers, from carpenter to funeral director to bank manager. He had his finger in many pies, dabbling in real estate and farming also. He also used to breed cows.
Oh.
So, rumour would suggest that many of the ways Andrew made his money were less than honourable. While unproven, there was talk amongst the Massachusetts locals that while working as a mortician, Andrew would cut the feet off of his burials to save money on the wood he used for their coffins. With a background as a carpenter, Andrew would build and supply coffins for his burials, and a story emerged that people's feet were removed so the coffins would be shorter and therefore would use less pine. Maximum profit, minimum morals.
Wow.
However, this has never been confirmed to be the actual truth. Despite the stories, Andrew Borden did in fact do very well for himself, and at the time of his death, he was worth the equivalent of $14.5 million today.
Whoa.
And that was, so in 1892, he was worth $300,000, which is now 14.5 mil.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So in 1845, at just 23 years old, Andrew would marry his first wife, Sarah Anthony Morse, and together the pair would have 2 daughters. 6 years into their marriage, the couple welcomed their first daughter, Emma, in 1851, and a staggering 9 years later, in 1860, there you go. Sarah would give birth to the couple's second daughter, Lizzie Andrew Borden. Not Elizabeth, just Lizzie. I want to say too, Lizzie Andrew, it seems so odd using a man's name as your middle name.
Mm.
But for some reason, I fucking love it. Lizzie Andrew. I don't know why.
It sounds nice. It does have a nice ring to it.
And then listening, every time I've listened to an episode about it, I'm like, that's just really cool, giving a little girl their dad's name as a middle name.
Yeah, like it's not very known to do that.
That's it. I just flipped my phone sideways, so now it's scrolled.
Welcome to my
world. So Emma was immediately enamored by her baby sister and was said to have taken to playing Mini Mama immediately. So when Sarah Borden would tragically pass away in 1863, 12-year-old Emma swore to always protect and love her toddler sister as if she were her own. Emma took this vow seriously and always protected and adored and cared for baby Lizzie. I've seen Sarah's death reported as congested lungs and also uterine congestion. I don't know what it was that actually killed her, but some form of congestion. Around 2 years later, when Lizzie was around 5 years old, Andrew Borden would marry his second wife, Abby Durfree Gray. Perhaps out of love, perhaps out of wanting a mother for his girls, or perhaps just the 1800s of it all, where a man just couldn't be on his own. Regardless of the reason, neither of the girls would ever go on to accept Abby as their mum. Emma was 15 at the time that the couple married and had fond memories of her mother, so she always referred to her stepmother as Abby. However, up until 5 years before their death, Lizzie did refer to Abby as mum. After an altercation in around 1889, Lizzie referred to her stepmother only as Mrs. Borden. I feel like that's such a slap in the face, isn't it? Like, you're just like, no, I've got no warmth to you. You're just Mrs. Borden. I would love to have been a fly on the wall and seen the conversation that resulted in it going from mum to Mrs. Borden.
So unrelated, but I just think of Step Brothers, where he's like, I'm not going to call him Dad.
Yeah, you don't have to call him. Oh, shit, Jesus.
Sorry, I'll throw you with the Step
You're
Brothers.
Right. I was just thinking of the Step Brothers thing, and now my brain's just doing the house was built in 1859 by General Custer. I love that movie.
Why did that fit so well? I was full witch cackled hard. Shit.
It's the Salem of it all. The Borden girls had always assumed that Abby had married their father due to his impressive wealth, and while Andrew had definitely amassed some wealth and looked after the women in his life, he was, however, well known for being frugal and somewhat cheap. The Bordens lived in what would be considered a quaint wooden home on 2nd Street, while they had the finances to live in much more affluent areas. It amazes me to see the house described as quaint because it's like 2 stories, it has a basement. It seems like quite a large house to look at, and in Australian standards, that's not a quaint house. It's a fucking mansion.
Oh, really?
Compared to what we have. It's got like a sitting room and a formal room and guest rooms and like...
Yeah, that's pretty
That's not
posh.
quaint, right? So the Borden girls desired to live in the hills, a modern, wealthy estate with large, stately homes, electricity, indoor plumbing, streetlights, sewerage, and flushing toilets. Fancy. Andrew, however, was quite happy where he was. Not being a huge fan of advancing technology, he was happy with gas lanterns, and he believed the modifications he had already made to the home were more than enough. He had moved the home's kitchen from the upstairs to the bottom floor to better suit the women in the home, and he had plumbing and a flushing toilet installed in the basement. Imagine going down to the basement to go to the toilet.
And it wouldn't be a nice basement.
Nah, no way. It would probably be like mud floor or something. Like, oh God. So the girls could not understand why a wealthy family still carted water for use in the kitchen up the basement stairs and had to use chamber pots throughout the night. This was not desirable for the Borden girls. They wanted the luxuries they believed they deserved. While this does make them sound spoiled, the girls were both very involved in helping their father in his many businesses and both received quite a hefty allowances for doing so. It's said that Andrew would also gift his daughters shares and stocks, and that they would sell and pocket the profit from these whenever they wanted more than just their allowance. On top of this, Mr. Borden paid for college for Emma and a 19-week lavish European holiday for Lizzie and some friends. The girls wanted for nothing, but Mr. Borden saw no sense in spending money for the sake of spending. He didn't believe in buying unnecessary things or replacing things that work perfectly fine just to keep up with the neighbours. If the axe handle broke, build another handle. We don't need a whole new axe.
I love that you
foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's that piece I do know about the story. That's like the one thing I know.
A few years before their death, Mr. Borden wrote a check for $1,500 to give to Abby's niece. So that equates to about 80 grand Australian. So this money brought their family home and stopped the struggling family from becoming homeless due to overdue rent. Instead of just paying what they owed in rent, he's like, fuck it, I'll just buy the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very generous.
I want an uncle like that.
Yeah. Someone that's just so loaded that they're like, I don't know what to do with my money.
They're
Here.
like, yeah.
I'll just
Just
buy
have
a
a
house.
house. It's a Wednesday. Have a house. So when Lizzie and Emma had heard of this, they became furious and used this to further push the narrative that Abby only married Andrew for his wealth. It's believed that this is the argument that caused the disconnect between Abby and Lizzie and instigated the switch from calling Abby mum to calling her Mrs. Borden. So one thing I find funny about this is where they're saying, oh, you only married him for his money, blah, blah, blah. When this happened, Abby and Andrew had been married for about 22 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you're marrying for the money, she's playing the fucking long game.
Yeah, that's
to try, like, oh,
that's commitment.
In 22 years, we can ask him for money to buy you a house.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
it's not saying she didn't marry him for money, but if she did all the right things. She raised his kids. She did all of those. Like, it wasn't like she was just putting her hands out for money. That's exactly. So the girls made such a fuss about their father's donation to his wife's family that they claimed that the gesture proved that he loved Abby more than he loved his own flesh and blood. To ease tensions, Mr. Borden gifted his daughters a home that he owned, valued at $5,000 at the time, which equates to $232,000 today. The girls sold the home and remained living with their parents. I want to know what they've done with all this money.
Yeah, like you're not really painting them in a good picture right now.
So this takes me to my next point. There's plenty of evidence to show that Mr. Borden made sure his girls were very well looked after and wanted for nothing except indoor plumbing and electricity, apparently. To everyone on the outside, they would just look like some ungrateful, spoiled brats.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Guilty.
In early 1892, the Borden home was burgled while everyone but Mr. Borden was home. Abby, Emma, Maggie, and Lizzie were all doing things around the home when someone entered and rifled through their belongings, stealing $100 in cash, some jewelry and train tokens, and theatre tickets. There are some reports that when people were caught using these train tokens belonging to Mr. Borden, they confessed that they'd received them as gifts from Lizzie. So Mr. Borden refused to pursue the investigation into the robbery any further.
What, so he thinks like she made it up? Or?
Yeah, or that she'd just taken everything. And then they're gone, oh, someone broke into the house and we didn't see who it was, but she was the one that had taken it all. As well as helping in her father's business, Lizzie taught English to immigrant children, taught Sunday school, and contributed to and in many community events. She was known for being quiet, however, still quite social. So, on one hand, you've got this thief that's, this ungrateful thief that's stealing from her dad and wants more money and everything else. But then on the other hand, she's teaching immigrants and she's teaching Sunday school. And so you've got that like yin yang, the good and evil. In the weeks before her parents' murders, Lizzie confided in her best friend Alice that she feared for the safety of herself and her family, her father especially. She explained to Alice that she had overheard her father and an unidentified man having a heated argument on the lawn of the Borden home. Although Lizzie couldn't elaborate on the full context of the conversation, she did hear her father say something to the effect of, "I'll have nothing of the nature trading out of one of my premises," in an angered tone. She said that when the man left, his body language appeared aggressive. Lizzie shared with Alice that she feared the home would be burned with the family inside. In the days leading up to the deaths, the Bordens had found themselves quite unwell, vomiting, shaking, sore stomachs, and lethargy. This continued for a few days and concerned Mrs. Borden enough that she visited the family doctor, stating she feared her family had been poisoned. Abby, Andrew, and Lizzie were all unwell. However, both Lizzie and Andrew refused the doctor's visits. Dr. Seabury Bowen lived directly opposite the Bordens, so visiting the home was no bother to him. Despite this, Andrew and Lizzie both concluded that obviously eaten something spoiled and the illness would pass. Dr. Bowen agreed and put it down to either bad mutton stew or spoiled milk. These were the days when the milkman would leave milk on your stoop at 4 a.m. and it was summer, so both options are very likely. Emma was hey,
yum,
yeah, chunky milk for breakfast. Emma was away visiting friends, and Maggie the maid was lucky enough to not be showing any symptoms of what hindered the rest of the family. Maggie the maid was an Irish immigrant. Her real name was Bridget. However, both Borden girls referred to her as Maggie. Again, Chinese whispers and rumours give many options for why this was, with most people saying it was the girls being disrespectful. However, when Bridget accepted the job at the Bordens, she was taking over for the girls' nanny, who was named Maggie. And also at the time, a comic had been released about a maid named Bridget. The comic was apparently offensive and rude, so there are theories that the girls called her Maggie as they thought Bridget was disrespectful to her. Apparently, Maggie had tried to quit her job a few times and return to Ireland, but Mrs. Borden was so fond of her that she offered her more money and Maggie could never turn down the offers. She stayed working and living in the home. On the day before the murders, the Bordens received a surprise visit from Emma and Lizzie's uncle John. John was Sarah's brother and had shared business interests with Andrew Borden. The visit, although unexpected, was welcomed, and John would be invited to stay at the home that night. After joining the family for dinner, he spent the night in the guest room of the Bordens' home, where merely hours later, Abby Borden would be found brutally murdered. Dinner consisted of Abby and Andrew and Maggie. While Lizzie was home, she would take her meals to the room as she no longer wished to share a table with her stepmother.
Wow. That hatred goes deep.
Right? Lizzie sounds so fucking spiteful. So the following morning, which is now the morning of the tragedy, it ran like normal. Maggie, Andrew, John, and Abby would all sit around the table sharing the breakfast Maggie had prepared. They ate and talked, and the Bordens invited John to join them for lunch. He mentioned he had family nearby, and Andrew suggested that he go visit them and then return to the Bordens' home for the meal later that day. Around 8:45 a.m., John left the Bordens' home to go visit his family. Around 8:50 a.m., Lizzie woke and headed downstairs for a coffee and some molasses cookies. At 9 a.m., Andrew Borden left the home to run some errands. Abby headed upstairs to straighten the guest room and requested for Maggie to clean the windows both inside and out of the home when she was done cleaning up after breakfast. Lizzie finished her coffee and cookies before attempting to iron some handkerchiefs. Jesus, some hankies. She was ironing some hankies. When the iron she was using would not get warm enough, she headed to the barn to search for more iron. Maggie would finish her kitchen chores and head out to clean the windows around 9:30 a.m. and would not return inside the home until around 10:30. Witnesses reported a man loitering near the home during this time, and an unknown carriage was seen in the street around the same time. Mr. Borden returned home around 10:45, between 10:45 and 11, to find the front door of the home locked. Now, I know we weren't alive at this time, but I feel like in 1890, locking a door was a big thing.
People wouldn't have normally.
Yeah, like homes were left unlocked in the 50s. I feel like they wouldn't have been locked in the 90s.
A very big.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that's sus that the door was locked. So Mr. Borden returned to the home between 10:45 and 11 to find the front door of the home locked. He called out to Maggie to come and let him in, and at this time he was apparently told that Mrs. Borden had received a note to visit a sick friend and had left the home. Some reports say Maggie told him this, but some say it was Lizzie, and I feel the truth in this matter would greatly change the outcome of who I think is guilty for this crime. Because if it was Maggie, it would, like... Spoiler alert, I think it was Maggie and John who killed them. I think they had some little love affair, thought they were going to get all this money, killed them thinking that they were going to be set for life, and ended up not being.
Be in the wheel or something.
That's what I personally think happened. I don't think Lizzie did the murder, but I understand why everybody does.
Yeah.
So if Maggie had said it, to me it would be like, oh no, she's not here. If Lizzie had said it, it's the same sort of thing, but I feel like whoever has said that lie is the guilty party.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But you don't know who said it. So Mr. Borden laid on the sofa and took a nap, while Maggie reports that she went upstairs to nap as suddenly she felt ill and believed whatever ailment had affected the Bordens the last few days had finally caught up with her.
So they were both napping?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that I'm going to go into my theory later on, but...
That sounds a little sus to me.
Right.
And I haven't heard the whole story.
Like, you've said that Mrs. Borden's not there, which would stop him from then going to look for her. So he's then just gone, well, the wife's not home, I'm just going to lay on the couch and have a nap. Whereas if he'd come home and thought his wife was there, it probably would have been, oh, I'm going to go and say hello to the wife and let her know I'm home. Yeah. Which then he would have discovered that she was dead. That would have removed him from the opportunity to then end up murdered himself. So yeah, that's why I just think that's sus. So at approximately 11:15 a.m., Maggie was idiot. And I also think that it's sus that I'm just going to shut up because I want to do, like, in the next episode, I want to do it. This is my theory and this is why.
Okay, yeah.
At approximately 11:15 a.m., Maggie was roused by Lizzie's calls for help regarding her father. When Maggie joined Lizzie in the sitting room by her father's side, Lizzie reportedly yelled, "Quick, fetch Dr. Bowen. Father has been stabbed." Maggie ran for the neighbour, who very quickly attended the Borden household. In his later testimony, Dr. Bowen would state that upon entering the back door of the Borden's residence, he was met with a panicked Lizzie. He asked what had happened and she replied, "Come quick, father's been stabbed." He entered the living room. "I saw the form of Mr. Borden lying on the lounge at the left of the sitting room door. His face was very badly cut, apparently with a sharp instrument. His face was covered with blood. I felt for a pulse and satisfied myself that he was dead. I glanced about the room and noticed nothing disturbed. Mr. Borden was lying with his face towards the south on his right side and apparently at ease, as if he was asleep. His face was hardly to be recognised by one who knew him." I love the way they spoke in the 1800s. It's just so...
poetic?
Yeah.
Recognised by anyone that knew him. Like...
That's it, where we'd just be like, oh no, you wouldn't even recognise him. His face was smashed in. Like, so different.
I mean, that's also partly like in Australia.
Yeah, very true. And you got a little, like, dissociated bitch over here who's just like...
Like, I'm imagining what his face would look like, because when you imagine...
Oh, there's photos. Oh, yeah, there's photos.
See, really?
Yeah. They're black and white, so they're not that... Like, they're fucked, but they're not that bad because they're black and white. He continued on to say that he asked Lizzie if she had seen anything, and she confirmed that she hadn't, but repeated the story of the altercation Mr. Borden had had with a tenant recently. Dr. Bowen asked for a sheet and Maggie fetched one for him. He called for the police and for the medical examiner to attend. Lizzie asked if he could send away a telegraph to her sister, who was away visiting friends. He agreed, however. Oh my God. I'm gonna start that whole.
Oh, sorry, I've just found
Yep.
the photos.
Yep.
I've never, I've never really gone into like because I can never find stuff.
Yeah.
I've never really. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not even on his photo yet. I don't know what I just clicked on, but what the
I reckon.
fuck?
I reckon I've seen in the past.
That is not a head anymore.
Yeah. Yep. No, not at all. I reckon in the past I've seen someone colorized the photo, and it's like not more intense, but like it's so
Really
different seeing it.
confronting.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that like facial mortality kind of thing, I guess. Like how does a human end up looking like that? Apparently, if you take an axe to their face.
It's very blurry, but
Yeah.
wow. I feel like that's. I don't even know whether to say like a passionate kill.
Yeah.
I don't even. That's just brutal.
Yeah, that it's cause as much damage as possible. Obviously, we're not going to be able to put those photos on our Instagram, but if you can handle, like, they're black and white, so they're not
There's
gory,
one that's
but
like
you can.
sepia tone.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so, add to the times that it was in.
Like, yeah, you can use your imagination to add the detail in, but they're definitely brutal.
I don't know why, but why, like him being in a full suit,
right,
strikes me as odd to nap in that. I don't know.
I guess it's the 1800s of it all. I guess.
Yeah.
That would have just been their everyday attire. Like, he was only running errands, so he wouldn't have even really been dressed up. That would have just been his
every day. Yeah, I suppose. Nowadays it's just traffic.
Yeah, that's it. He would have had Uggies on.
Wow, sorry, I just full hijacked.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, these are very intense. So definitely viewers advise. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if you can
look at your own risk.
They are black and white, but they are out there, and they're very, very easy to find.
Very easy to find. That took me within a paragraph.
But obviously, Instagram will tell us off if we upload them. But
yeah, definitely can't do that. Sorry, continue on.
No, you're fine. I love when we have those little like things in an episode where one of us will look something up and we're like, what the fuck? So Dr. Bowen continued on to say that he'd asked Lizzie if she had seen anything, and she confirmed that she hadn't, but repeated the story of the altercation that Mr. Borden had had with a tenant recently. Dr. Bowen asked for a sheet, and Maggie fetched one for him. He called for the police and for the medical examiner to attend. So I've put in here he called. Obviously, he didn't have a phone. He couldn't just ring someone. So I don't know how that was done. I don't know if they sent Maggie off to go and grab someone or what. But
that's what you would say they called upon.
Yeah. So Lizzie asked if he could send a telegraph to her sister, who was away visiting friends. He agreed. However, before he could leave for the office, the question was asked, where is Mrs. Borden? Dr. Bowen testified that he could not remember who asked where Mrs. Borden was, or who responded with, she received a note to visit an ill friend and had left the home. So again, we've got another person saying it, but they can't remember who said it. And I feel like that's
a bit odd.
Changes things so much depending who said it.
Because where would they have got that info from? Yeah.
That's it.
She's been upstairs the whole time.
Yep. And you would think like so Lizzie had been outside according to Lizzie, she'd been outside in the barn. But
also, where do you find an axe?
Very true.
In the barn.
Exactly. So if her story is true, she was in the barn looking for more iron. She wasn't in the house and wouldn't have been in the house to be told, oh, I've just received a note, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Whereas Maggie had access to the house, and I feel like the door was locked to prevent someone walking in while the murder happened.
And wasn't she, I suppose, upstairs as well, napping?
Yep.
Okay.
And she was told to do the windows inside and out. So it's,
And before if you think she's not home, like, you would have gone in there to do the windows inside and out. Or if you did them from the outside, you would have seen into the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. I mean, I completely, I understand why Lizzie's been accused. I understand why 130 years later people believe it was her, and people will absolutely die on that hill. I have never believed that Lizzie did it.
Yeah.
I've always believed that it was the uncle and the maid, and I believe they worked together. And the more I'm researching at the moment to actually do an episode for, my mind's not changing. I very much
still think the same.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that, because you had these strong opinions about it before you did the case.
Yeah.
And you've always wanted to do this case. So
That's
it's interesting to see that you haven't changed your mind at all.
Yeah.
After
and
sort of diving a lot deeper.
That's it. And the last couple of days I've been watching everything on YouTube about it. Everything, like, it's insane how different everyone's story is. And you can tell when people are writing episodes, be it podcast, YouTube, you can kind of tell who they think did the murder.
Yeah.
Because even though they won't say, oh, I think it was this person, they sort of twist the stories just a little bit to send you in a different direction. You hear
the way they like word things.
Like, you hear one version and you know very quickly if people think it was Lizzie. And you can just hear how it's all like, this is fact, this is fact, this is fact. No, it's circumstantial evidence at best. And in today's day and age, I don't think she would have even gone to trial.
Wow.
But I'm going to, in the next episode, I'm going to go through a few of the theories of what, like, people who it could have been. And I'll share I think I could stretch this out to 5 episodes. That's how, like, insane it is. But I'm trying to keep it to 3. Listen at your own risk. Listen to Jade's bullshit. Because the next one I'm going to do, it'll all be, like, on the trial.
Yeah. Cool. I forgot where we were now.
Yeah. So she received a note to visit an ill friend that had left him home.
Oh, she was, like, supposedly napping upstairs.
Which, even that, I think, is odd. If you're a maid... Like, she must have really been part of the family to be able to just go, I've done the windows, I'm going to go lay down.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a nap while you should be working, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, Dr. Bowen headed to the telegraph office to notify Emma of her father's passing, and on the way, he crossed paths with Officer Allen. On his way back from the office, he ran into Maggie, who informed him that they had found Mrs. Borden in the guest room, and she was also brutally murdered. All the back and forth and the chaos drew the attention of a local druggist, which I thought was fucking hilarious that he was called a druggist, not a chemist. When he realized what was going on, he attended the Borden's home to speak to an officer at the scene. He mentioned that the very day before, he had had a woman attend his pharmacy looking to purchase cyanide to treat a seal coat for bugs. He told the woman that he could not supply her with the poison without a doctor's note, and she left, only to return later asking for a different poison. He also refused to sell her that one. He believed that the woman could have been Lizzie Borden. Oh. Police then inserted the druggist into a position where he could watch the goings-on in the home. So they've taken him into a crime scene to see if he could identify anyone. He pointed out Lizzie, stating that it was absolutely her. So my theory is that he's just been a little fucking nosy bugger.
Yeah.
And wanted to see what was going on. Came up with this theory. The cops brought him in. It's very, very easy to work out who's the daughter of the victim.
Yeah.
Because Maggie's not there. Maggie's off doing something else. There's one woman in the home crying, upset.
That was
very,
her.
very easy to work out. Oh, yeah, that was definitely her.
So, like,
I heard they were poisoned.
Could he have given a description of what she looked like?
Well, he didn't. He just
exactly.
said a woman.
Yeah.
It was a woman.
And then when he seen it, he was like, yep, that's her.
Yep.
If any, he was like beforehand, you know, she had long blonde hair.
That's it.
And she was a, yeah.
Yep. So to the 1800s of it all, to the police investigating this crime, obviously wanting it solved and tied up in a neat little bow very quickly, that was evidence.
They would just go again. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just his word against her word.
That's circumstantial at best to me. Like, in today's day and age, there'd be camera footage, there'd be surveillance.
Yeah.
You could prove very quickly if he was lying, but not in the 1800s.
Yeah, 100%.
So Dr. Bowen had now returned to the home. He'd headed upstairs and found Abby's body lying on her face on the floor. He checked Mrs. Borden's body for signs of life, but when he lifted her head, he saw the immense damage done to her face. She had no pulse. I really shouldn't fucking keep making jokes about shit like this.
I think it's because you're describing something. I don't even know how to explain what I saw in those images. But you're describing something very chaotic.
Yeah.
For like the 1800s. That is a very violent way to go.
Yep. And like when you think of it too, which was something I hadn't thought about until I was writing this, there was no like text messaging. There was no phone calling. Maggie was literally sent to run back and forth between houses.
Yeah.
Like, she's also just found her boss, who's obviously, like, it's a family that she's clearly comfortable enough to go nap during the day with and have breakfast with. It didn't seem like they were a family that were like, you were the help, you sit over there.
Yeah,
she
like
sat
she wasn't
at their table and ate lunch with them. She was part of their family. So she would clearly have adored these people in return. You've just seen one of them with their face smashed in on the couch, and you're having to run back and forth. You're not allowed to have your moment and be sad and do all of these things because you're still working.
I would probably break down and cry on the way between houses.
Right. And they're like, no, you've got to go here. You've got to get the doctor. You've got to go here. You've got to grab this person. You've got to notify this one.
So it's so hard then as well to sort of look at that.
Yep.
Because she could also be in shock in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not really processing what's happened.
Yep.
And she's not getting the time to, really.
She's not taking a casual stroll. She's running back to and from these houses.
And probably dress.
Yep.
Even, not saying it's like got a lot of layering, but it's still a dress.
That's it. Yep. And from what I've seen, I haven't actually looked up how old she was, but photos of her, she looks older than Lizzie, and Lizzie was, I think, 33 when this happened.
Yeah.
So she looks 35, maybe even 40. Like, she's not 20 years old running around sprightly. Like, she's, you know.
Like, so many, it's really hard because so many things are stacking up against Lizzie. It's really hard.
Yep.
To not think she's guilty.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's like, that's the thing. Like, I get it. I get why
everyone thinks.
Yeah. So Dr. Bowen checked for a pulse, couldn't find one, so he confirmed that Mrs. Borden was also deceased. So town gossip reported that Dr. Bowen had mentioned that Mrs. Borden had absolutely died of fright. He adamantly denies making such a claim and admitted that he had at first thought that she had merely fainted, but that thought passed quickly as he inspected the body, concluding that she had died as a result of an attack with the same instrument that had killed her husband.
Like, I'm just thinking in my head, bitch, she had no face.
Right?
Like, what do you think?
Like, when you looked up the pictures, did you look up her pictures as well?
Yeah, I found it really good. I've still got it up. Like, it's literally got,
nice.
It starts off the house, then it's got Lizzie Borden, then it's got, like, the family that's Andrew and Abby.
Yeah.
Then it's got other figures. Then it's got crime scene and autopsies.
Nice.
Then it's got evidence. It's just very categorized.
That one. That's really cool.
Yeah. So there's literally even like this. Hold on, let me make that a minute darker. Like their skulls and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you mean you looked at that and thought she just
like, that's crazy.
She literally has no face.
Yeah. The damage, that's some anger.
See, that's why that heavily like points. But then again, you don't know what it was like in those behind those closed doors.
Yep.
They could have treated Maggie like she was another daughter.
Yeah.
But she was still not resentful, but like still angry. I don't know. It's really hard.
So at this point, the medical examiner, W.A. Dolan, had arrived at the home, and he was, as was customary at the time, he began the autopsies right there in the family home that very hour. So they weren't taken, the bodies weren't taken somewhere else to do an autopsy. They just pulled them down into the living room and set up cooling tables and did the autopsies right then and there in the home.
Are you for real?
Yep. So they would cut them open, remove organs, do everything right then and there on a cooling table in the lounge room.
On a cooling table? Well, was it still, I suppose?
So they're just you would have seen them. They're just like I think they're normally wicker or something, and they've got holes in them so that the air can get up under the body and it stops you like pooling. Yeah, and they're literally just done right there. Wow. That's what that photo that you just showed me of Abby was. That was during the autopsy. It was when she's on the autopsy table.
Wow.
After checking the contents of their stomachs, the medical examiner concluded that there were no signs of any poisoning to either Mr. or Mrs. Borden, and that their deaths had been a result of impact caused by a weapon unknown, possibly a hatchet, and the manner of death was homicide. I love that they needed a medical examiner to fucking determine that.
Yeah. Holy shit.
He also concluded that Mrs. Borden had been killed first and up to 90 minutes prior to her husband. He declared that she had been upstairs changing pillowcases on the guest bed when someone had snuck up behind her and attacked her. He believed that she never even saw it coming and was likely killed by the first blow. One of the blows on Mrs. Borden. Actually, this is a picture we can upload to the Instagram because it's not gory or anything. Cut her plait clean off her head. So there's actually a photo of her detached hairstyle, I guess. Just chilling there. The medical examiner also concluded that Mr. Borden was attacked while sleeping and also would have likely never known he was being attacked. He believed the first or second strike would have killed him while he slept, with one of the blows cutting his eyeball in half. Mr. Borden had received that many blows it was impossible to decipher some parts of his skull as they had been so badly damaged. He noted that the killer would have been noticeably covered in blood. It was around this time that Lizzie would return to her room and change her dress. While this could be seen as very suspicious, it was in fact customary of the time to wear certain dress while mourning, and Lizzie had in fact changed into a mourning dress. Dr. Bowen states that during this time he consoled and comforted a distraught Lizzie. Unfortunately for Lizzie, the change of dress was the first of many instances that would be noticed by investigators and draw attention her way.
But they still had the dress that she was wearing.
Yeah.
Like it would have been covered in blood.
That's it. And she had been in that room with all of them.
Like beforehand anyway. She wasn't covered in blood.
Yeah.
Like you would be like, it's hard to describe the brutality of the way this person died.
Yeah.
You would be covered in head to toe.
She would have been blood. Like over the top horror movie.
Like
covered in
imagine
blood.
Carrie.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would look like that.
Exactly. And she had, so from the time when Mr. Borden got home to the time that he was called, that Lizzie had called Maggie down because she'd found him, was 15 minutes. There's not time in a Victorian era in a home that has no running water to get clean enough in 15 minutes to be redressed and be clean enough to call someone down and say, I've just found my father like this, and not be covered in evidence.
Yeah.
If you were, however, up in your bedroom already, if you had done something and were now up in your bedroom, or if you had let in someone who was maybe waiting in a carriage out in the street,
which people did say they saw a random carriage and a random man lurking,
who was then able to commit the murder and leave while you're upstairs in your bedroom napping, completely out of the scenario. It wouldn't matter if someone was covered in blood because they're already out of the house.
I feel like that would be a relatively noisy...
Surely.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you imagine, like you would legitimately have to swing over... Sorry, I probably sound silly because I'm swinging my arms up. But I would imagine you would have to swing a heavy-ass axe. You would have to go pretty far. Multiple times.
Yep. And not only hitting a skull, which how noisy would that have been? The arms of the sofa were wood. You would have hit wood with that axe. That's noisy.
Like you could have even gone, because she was on the, you could have even hit the floor. Like the floorboards would have been...
Yep. Yeah. Like in the, I don't know how high the ceilings are there, but like in the Velisca axe murder house, there's 100 odd years later, there's still a mark in the ceiling of where the guy who did the murders hit the ceiling with the axe. Because by the time you've got his arms outstretched and the axe and he swung, he's nicked the ceiling.
Because an axe is pretty long. Like
that's it.
When you're like, it's a massive thing. I'm trying to imagine something like it's probably as high as that.
So I mean, and then I guess it depends. Is it an axe? Is it a hatchet? Like who knows? But
wait. What's the difference between that and a hatchet?
A hatchet's shorter. So hatchet's like probably
yeah, it was a hatchet.
30. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hatchet.
Yeah, I think that whoever did the murder was out of the house by the time the bodies were found. That's why no one was ever found covered in blood. And
why nothing was like heard.
Yeah.
Because you'd have like, I feel like you'd have to be pretty physically...
Or if someone had a weak stomach and couldn't handle watching someone be murdered, so they were perhaps up in a bedroom
napping
while someone came in the house and did the job and left.
Like it's not... How close would her bedroom have been anyway that she was napping in, you know what I mean?
It was in the attic apparently.
But she was...
Her room was in the attic.
So hard. This is a tough one, man.
Yep. So it was around this time that Uncle John had returned to the home. He apparently did not notice the investigators or spectators at the front of the home and walked around the back, grabbed a pair and walked through the back door, never even attempting to enter through the front, almost as if he knew the door would be locked. 2 days later, the Bordens would be buried. Emma and Lizzie attended the funeral in full mourning attire. However, Lizzie would set tongues wagging and jaws dropping by the fact that her mourning attire featured black lace. Lace was provocative and not appropriate attire for a mourning woman.
Really? You're picking on bloody lace?
Yep. So her dress, there's photos of her in it, but it was typical, like, you know, Victorian collar like up to the neck, and it was literally like a chest panel that had a bit of lace over it. There was no boobs. There was layers and layers, and it was just like a lace
it's not like
overlay.
The lace was see-through.
No, it was a lace overlay over solid black. Lace was provocative and not appropriate attire for a mourning woman. Mourning dress came with certain rules in the 1800s and was to be worn for different lengths of time depending on who you were mourning. And Lizzie's attire did not meet those standards. So if it was... I didn't write this down, so I'm just trying to remember this, so I might get it backwards. If you're mourning your husband, you had to wear black for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mourning a parent, it was 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was different stages of mourning. So there was a stage where you would wear only black,
mm-hmm.
and then you would go to like a charcoal grey, a lighter grey, white, cream, beige, and then you could go back off to colours.
So what if you wore black not in those times? Like you just
didn't.
Jesus, you just didn't. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all depending on
head to toe black.
Right. We're mourning. Mourning our 20s.
Yes.
So yeah, there was a whole like procedure to it, and there was something else I was looking that was like brooches had to be worn in a different place. Like one place signified that you were single and looking.
This? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Is this like just common knowledge?
Exactly, or was it like something
times?
that was taught? I mean, I guess back then it was selective if women were even at school.
Yeah,
but it obviously would have had to have been information that was handed down, because it was like if your brooch was on the left side you were single and looking, if it was on the right side you were attached. Like it was different places of where you would wear your brooch.
Jesus.
That's why you would see like a lot of women in Victorian eras would wear them like on their
right up
neck area, because I guess that symbolized that they were married and taken or something. Like yeah, it was crazy. It was a whole uniform.
Literally like a uniform.
Yep. Can you believe that the fact that Lizzie's dress featured lace became evidence?
That's just stupid.
That, coupled with Lizzie's availability to the crime scene, past stories of thefts and family rifts, and you have yourself a murder accusation. It's all completely circumstantial, but an accusation all the same. So after the funeral, Lizzie and Emma would ride in a horse-drawn carriage behind the funeral carriage carrying their father and his wife. Once at the cemetery, Emma and Lizzie would wait in the carriage as their parents were lowered into the ground. This was customary at the time, as it was considered too traumatic for women to witness the lowering of the coffins.
I'm sorry.
That's
too traumatic.
Like she's just...
I was literally just thinking Lizzie finding her dad like that.
Yeah, but you can't watch a box being put in the ground because you're a woman and you can't handle it.
Oh, like she'd be traumatized. That's
100%.
Like a loved one.
Yep.
Wow.
So as the coffins lowered, the carriage pulled away, and once the girls were out of sight of the gravesite, the coffins were pulled back up and returned to W.A. Dolan's office. The girls were none the wiser. The bodies would sit at the office for months. Without freezers, the bodies of course continued to decompose and break down, eventually allowing the medical examiner to remove the skulls. Mr. and Mrs. Borden were then finally buried 4 months after their death. Meanwhile, the girls thought they were buried the whole time.
Wow.
So they were going out to the grave to visit, and they were empty graves. So they were finally buried without their heads. W.A. Dolan then boiled the heads of the Bordens to remove all leftover sinew and muscle. He determined Mrs. Borden had been struck 18 times and Mr. Borden had been struck 11. So fuck your incorrect nursery rhyme, you rope jumping bitches. It was only 18 and 11. It wasn't 40 and 41.
Because that's a lot. But I suppose you can't skip into 11. It's not that.
But like, even when we talk about, like we've said a million times before, like you try stabbing someone 30 times. Try swinging an axe 18 times.
I keep thinking about the burger case.
Oh, I bet.
Like, even talking about this now, and I'm like, oh, like, he wasn't covered in blood. Like, he had a ski mask. He was covered, like, had gloves on. He was covered. And then all that, you just literally take it off and dump it somewhere.
Yep.
And he took the most roundabout fucking way home. Sorry, I've just, like, fallen because I'm, like, still watching the
Your co-burger case is your Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, like, I've just got something against him. I will argue till I'm fucking blue in the face.
Have you seen all the photos coming up of him now, like, taking selfies in the mirror with it? Oh, my. In the time between when the girls believed their parents were buried and the time when they actually were, investigators had been working overtime on the case, and all roads seemed to point to Lizzie, and the ones that didn't would just be considered detours. A few days after the funeral, Lizzie was seen burning a dress. Investigators took this as her destroying evidence, when both Lizzie and Maggie would state that the dress had green paint on it, and as Lizzie now had financial freedom and could not face reprimand by her father for wasting money, she burned it and brought something new.
So she's not really helping her case.
Exactly. And the other thing I was thinking when I was actually writing this was, she has to be in black for the next 12 months. Why does she need to hold on to a paint-stained dress that's not black? Because there's 12 months before she can wear that. She's fucking rich now. She's not going to wear a 12-month-old dress.
Yeah, that's true. Like, out of fashion.
That's exactly right.
And then also at the same time, it's almost like symbolic because
it's a symbol of her freedom, really, I think.
I was about to say, not repressed. That's maybe a little harsh because she did get a lot given to her, and he was a good dad to all intents and purposes.
But she might have said, oh, Dad, can I get money for a new dress? No, that dress is fine. It's got paint on it. Doesn't matter. It's still fine.
Yeah, so it was like symbolic to her in a way to be like this fucked up thing happened, but at the same time, I'm free and burning it is not fuck you, but like
almost healing, I guess.
Yeah.
She's in those times too, women, until they were married, they belonged to their fathers. She was 33 years old
and
belonged to her father.
Relatively old in those times. Do you know?
Yeah, that's it. She was unmarried. This was her stance on being an independent woman.
Yeah.
She had autonomy.
Yeah.
She had autonomy for the first time in her life. She could make decisions.
And the means to be that independent because she had the money.
That's exactly right. I don't think it was destroying evidence at all. Maggie reminded Lizzie on how this would look to neighbours, and Lizzie stated she didn't care. She was burning the dress. There have never been any accounts of anyone noticing any blood or any damage on that dress aside from paint. Due to the age of the case, it's very hard to find factual evidence, but some reports say that she burned the dress outside, and some say she burned it in the basement. Again, this is a detail that I think can vary how you see this case. Because if it was burned outside, she didn't give a fuck who saw her burn the dress. If it was burned in the basement and she was hiding it,
it looks a bit different.
Yeah. So we have a family rift, a desire for money, stories of theft, accessibility to the victims, motive, means, opportunity, stories of poisoning, and a burned dress. This was enough evidence for the investigators to search the home and arrest Lizzie and charge her with the murder of her father and stepmother. And that is where I'm leaving it today. Da da da!
No. So honestly, what the fuck?
Yep, exactly. And yeah, I'll go into like the interrogation and stuff more in the next episode. But you can absolutely see why she was arrested.
There's a lot of things that she did that didn't help.
Yeah.
But it's really hard because also we are, like you said, 130 plus years later. We look at things so much differently than what they would have looked at things.
Yep.
So her doing all these certain things that we're like, oh my God, like why would you do that? You're not helping.
Yep.
Is just normal kind of thing.
That's it. Because back then, like we were just saying, like she would have belonged to her father. She had no autonomy of her own body. We understand that now. But back then, it would have been, oh, the poor girls, they don't have a man in the home. What are they going to do? 2 women living alone in a home. Oh, the horror. It was a whole different time. You can't watch someone be buried because you'll faint because you're just a poor woman. And we've just looked at photos of someone's face smashed in and, like, it's so desensitized to things. It's a whole different world.
Just fall after the top of it. Yeah.
But even
like
things
it just
like
shows you how desensitized people have become to certain things.
Yep. And like the two, like I'll go into this a little bit more in the next episode, but I'll just touch on it briefly now. The two poisons that were apparently requested, if that actually was Lizzie, both of those poisons were proven to be used to stop bugs eating fur, which back then was very common for clothing to be made of fur, seal, everything else. And apparently she said it was for a seal coat. They were also advised to be used for relief of nausea and relief of vomiting.
Relatively sick.
Yep. So if it was her that had gone and asked for the poison, doesn't mean she poisoned her family. She could have been trying to ease the fact that she was vomiting.
Like it was two totally unrelated. They didn't die of poisoning.
Exactly.
They were like butchered.
Yep, but because there would have been Chinese whispers going through the town, would have been, she was at the doctor the other day saying she was poisoned. Lizzie must have tried to poison them 3 days ago. And now, even if there was poisoning, if you look at the facts in 2026 mind, and there was poisoning, Abby, Andrew, and Lizzie were sick. Maggie wasn't.
Like there's it's a really hard case to look at.
So it's now you see why I had to stop there, because I couldn't just.
I mean, we're already like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I could have, like, I cut so much out of that because I could have just gone into so much more detail, which I think I'll bring a lot of that back in the next episode as well. But yeah, looking at that in a 1892 mindset, you understand it. Looking at it at a 2026 mindset, I don't think she would have even been arrested.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a lot of circumstantial evidence.
Yep.
And a little like hearsay or he said, she said, that is kind of unrelated.
And it just shows how easily back then little things could be taken and misconstrued, and all of a sudden someone's on death row. It's
a definitely interesting case. So there's plenty more to find out, I guess.
Yep. And the whole time that I've, like, because like I've said a million times already, this case has just stuck with me forever. I've always blamed the uncle and the maid. But I was listening to a podcast episode yesterday about it that brings in 6 more very, very feasible suspects.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just throws a bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah, and every single one I was like,
but regardless, maybe it was them. It's not Lizzie is where you're getting at. Yeah.
I don't.
It's just literally wrong place, wrong time. Yeah. Just everything pointing against her. And it's...
And I feel like if the whole afterlife, I'm not going to say if the afterlife is real, because we all know that not we all know, you can have your own opinions. But if I ever am out in the ethers and I get to say, Lizzie, did you hatchet your parents? And she says, yes, I did. I'm going to be like, motherfucker, I rode for you for so many years. I was 10 toes down that you were innocent. I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yep. They'll be
you just want all your answers.
I'll get to the pearly gates and they'll be like, my child.
You got a long list of
what do you want to know? Did Lizzie Borden kill her parents?
You're going to have a lot of murderers. Just be like, did you do it? Did you do this? Why did you do this?
Well, I just need to know. That's my
You're just a nosy bitch.
Yeah. I just want
an answer to things.
Yeah.
When it's not so because like black and white, this is looking very black and white that it's Lizzie.
That's it. And there's no we'll never get actual answers now. Because the heads, the bodies were buried. The heads were boiled. Any evidence that was on those heads is gone. Even though they have a hatchet that they claimed was evidence, another spoiler alert, it's not. It's not the hatchet that killed them. So they found hatchets and axes in the barn that tested positive for blood. This is also an era where people will cut the heads off their own chickens.
I was about to say
so they're all going to test positive for blood.
Whatever they have.
So I don't for 1 second believe that the weapon was left on the property, and I don't believe the person who did the murders was on the property when the bodies were found.
Because again, like I say, you will look at these photos if you have the guts for it. If you see the sheer brutality of it, you would look at that hatchet and then be like, that would be covered in what I was going to say, human gunk. That's maybe not.
But it's
right.
true. They would be covered in brain.
Yeah.
In eyeballs, in blood, in
and that
bile,
would be like,
in skin.
Not embedded, but that would be all like, do you get what I'm trying to say? The amount of hits, 2 bodies.
Yep.
It would just keep
an
layering.
hour and a half between the bodies.
Yeah.
So they've got an hour and a half's worth of dried blood on them. And I just think it was a man. A man did those murders.
Yeah.
Not a 150-pound woman.
Yeah.
That's my hill. And I'm dying on it. 10 toes down for you, Lizzie.
10
Don't make me regret this, bitch.
I'm going to hashtag that. 10 toes down for Liz.
Yes. Hashtag free Lizzie.
Oh, shit. I don't even know how to end this because we're not essentially done. So definitely come back for the next episode of the Lizzie Borden to just, I guess, through the trial, go through.
And I'll try to, I think because I'm so in it right now, I'm going to go home and write the next bit now.
While it's fresh on your mind.
Or else what will happen is it'll take me another 3 weeks to get back here. And
and everyone will be waiting because I am also eagerly waiting.
Everyone will be waiting on tenterhooks.
Yes. So thank you for listening to this one, but definitely tune in for the next one, and we'll hopefully, I don't know, not conclude it because
we're nowhere near done, babies. Buckle up, we're in for the long ride on this one.
This could be a 3 or 4-parter. So keep
that's it, and we will
catch you on the
flip side.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.